Hello and welcome to Craft with Sarah and day 3 of the Christmas Craft Countdown, where I'm sharing 20 Christmas-themed Cricut projects in 20 days. Half of the projects are designed by me, and half are guest designer projects from some of my crafting friends. Today's design is one of my projects, and it's this detailed, traditional Christmas tree paper craft. This would look beautiful framed in a shadow box, shrunk down to go on a greetings card, or even just propped up on the shelf as part of your festive decorations. Let's get started! The files for this project are free for the next 24 hours. Here's how to download them. First, register a free ticket for the Christmas Craft Countdown at craftwithsarah.com/Christmas23. Click any of the buttons on the page and enter your name and email to register. If you're already registered, check for an email from me with subject line Christmas Craft Countdown ticket information, or any of the other emails from me that you have been sent throughout the countdown. Can't find them? Check your junk or spam box to see if they've gone there by mistake. These emails contain the link to view the countdown projects and download today's files. Scroll down the page to find today's project. Click the button to start the files automatically downloading to your computer or mobile device. Each download is only available for free for 24 hours after it goes live. If you've missed some, check out the Instant Access Bundle at craftwithsarah.com/Christmas23 bundle, which gives immediate and ongoing access to all of the files from the Christmas Craft Countdown, plus loads of extra bonus designs. All downloads come in zip folders. You need to unzip them before you can upload the files into Cricut Design Space. Once you've downloaded and unzipped the folder, it's time to get the SVG file into Cricut Design Space. Open up Design Space to start a new project and then go to Upload over on the left and then Upload Image. You can then either click Browse to find a file on your computer or drag and drop it in. Make sure you choose the unzipped version of the folder, and then the file to select is the one which starts SVG in the file name. I'll click and drag that in, and this is what it should look like with all of the pieces one on top of the other. If yours looks different and you see all the pieces next to each other instead, that means that you have accidentally uploaded the wrong file type. So if that's the case, click Cancel down here on the bottom and try again and make sure you choose the one which starts SVG. So I'm going to go on Upload and then click the design in my recent uploads and press Add to Canvas. And this does come in ready to cut. You don't have to change anything if you don't want to, but I do recommend just checking the size. To resize the design, click it. Make sure your padlock icon up here is shut. If yours looks open, you can click it to close it. And then you can change either the width or the height. So let's go 7 inches and press Enter. And the other measurement changes in proportion. So I'll do a 7-inch tree. And then everything else is all ready for me, so I can just click on Make It. This is much easier than that advent calendar from day one. Although, you may start regretting this project slightly when you see how many little circles it's going to cut out. But that's because we need to make all of those beautiful baubles. You can change the paper size down here. I'm going for A4. And you do need to do that for every single colour. For this grey, I'm going to cut it from a silver, so this is a really shiny project. And you can move things about on the page so that it takes up less cardstock. Just make sure when you're moving it that nothing overlaps, otherwise it won't cut out properly. So by moving this about like this, it means I've now got all of this area on my cardstock, which nothing will be cut out of, which means I can use it another day for a different project. When you're happy with how everything looks on your page, click Continue to connect to your Cricut machine and get everything cut out from cardstock. Here are all the layers of my Christmas tree cut out, and I've laid them on top of each other to check that I'm happy with all the colours and that I haven't accidentally lost any of the little pieces. One thing I have done before recording this video is for all of the little baubles, I've just stuck the 3 pieces of those together with glue because I knew otherwise I was going to lose them. So each bauble is a white circle at the bottom, and then you've got 2 colours on top, either red, silver or gold. So all of these have been glued. I recommend going ahead and gluing those now if you haven't already done so. And what I'm actually going to do for a change is I'm going to start by sticking all of the baubles onto my ribbon piece because I've already gone to the effort of lining them up and putting them in the right order. So I'm going to try and keep that and just sort of jump ahead and do the ribbon first. Normally I'd start at the bottom and work upwards, and that is what we'll be doing once the baubles are stuck to the ribbon. Let's move those out of the way. And I'm just going to keep everything in place, I think. I'm going to stick my baubles onto the ribbon piece with some foam squares. These are the ones I'm using. You see they're quite small. If yours are bigger, that's fine. You can cut them with a pair of scissors. And I'm just going to use one piece on all of these bauble sections on my silver ribbon to get these in place, because it did take a little while to get them in position, as you've got the 3 different colours and also they're all different sizes, so it took a little while, but we got there. And this is going to take me a while to do. I'm just putting one little foam square on the back of each bauble, trying to make sure that the little highlight is the same sort of direction on all of them, but it doesn't matter too much. So let's speed up the camera and get all of these stuck down. Okay, I think that's all of them. I'm just going to give it a little turn. Yeah, that is. So there we go. That's all those baubles stuck. And you can really see my metallic cardstock shimmering there in my camera lights. It's going to look really pretty. I'll just put that to one side now, and then we can start work on the tree. Now this is 3 layers in total. Got 1, 2, 3. And you could foam square each of them, or if you don't want it to be as thick, then glue these 2 together and then foam this one on top. I think I'll go for one with lots of dimensions, so I'm going to foam all of them. Make sure you put some foam in all of the really sticky out bits. That'll help it be nice and stable when it's cut. And I'm going to have to cut some of these even smaller to put it in the edge of some of these branches. It does take a bit more time and it's a bit fiddly, but it's definitely worth it. You get a much better overall effect if you take the time to put some foam in the branches. And then, as well as going around the edge, you'll also need to put some foam squares in the middle. And the reason for that is that if I only put them around the edge, there's no stability in the middle of this design to keep the height. So you'll probably find that it kind of bends downwards like that in the middle, which is not what we want. So to stop that from happening, put a good amount of foam squares in the middle of the design as well as around the edge. Now that's done, I can peel the tops off to reveal the stickiness underneath. Okay, that's those ready. So now I can line this up using the star and the base to know where it needs to go. I use that base and then gently place it down and then let go. The reason for just gently letting it go is that if it wasn't quite lined up, you can pick it up again and try again, and it's not actually stuck yet, so it won't damage anything. And I'm just going to make sure my star lines up properly. And then that looks good, so let's push down to get it really well stuck. Next, we've got this piece of the tree, which I'm also going to use foam on. When you're adding the foam to this one, again, you might need to cut it smaller to go into some of the sticky out bits. And also make sure you don't put your foam over any of the gaps. Otherwise, you'll be able to see the foam through the gaps when this is stuck on. And we don't want that. We want the foam to be all nice and hidden. So I need to do all of this foam sticking again. Right, time to line this up again. Oh, no, missed one. Okay. Get that star in place and then make it straight along the bottom. Gently drop it down. Just check. That looks good, so push to seal. And now you can see all the depth in the different colours. It looks really realistic and beautiful. The next thing to add on is the ribbons. And you could foam this if you want to, but I'm going to glue it because there's already a lot of depth going on and we've got the baubles poking out, so I'm going to leave it so that the tinsel would be glued. The glue I'm using is called Collall. I like it because it doesn't bend or wrinkle the cardstock like some glues can do, but Bearly Art Glue is a wonderful alternative if you can't get the Collall. And I put it into these needle tip applicator bottles. And this is going to make it really easy to add the glue to this piece, which is quite delicate. You need to be careful when picking it up, especially because it's got the weight of all of the bauble layers on top and all the foam. So you can see it's quite narrow here. It's only joined on that little bit of tinsel. So try and make sure it doesn't snap when you're gluing it on. Now can I pick this up without it breaking? There we go. And you can use the bauble outlines to kind of work out where it goes. And gently press it down. We don't want any of the glue smushing out the edges, so I'm just gently tapping it to make sure I don't get any messy glue bits. That's looking good. Okay, we'll do the bow and the star next. For the bottom of each, I'm going to foam it. Let's cheat and put the foam straight on here. There we go. Then we've got the the fuller bit of the bow first. The bit with the little ribbons hanging down. And then the solid star. Come on, pick up the solid star to go on the top. There we go. And then for the little star piece on top, this will be glued, thankfully, because it's very, very small. Oops. There we go. And then the same on the top bit of the ribbon. I'm going to glue that too. Just gives it that little bit of extra detail. Bring it up so you can see. There we go. Right, just the gifts along the bottom to go. Here are my pieces. Let's see what we've got. Start with this one right along the bottom. And this one I am going to use the foam squares for. I nearly said glue then. My brain was going foam, foam. But I still nearly said glue. And of course you can refer to the assembly instructions PDF guide that comes with the download at any time if you want to refer back to the instructions without having to watch the whole video again. Okay, this one goes along the bottom like that. Then the next layer makes up the stripes on that wrapping paper, and this one is a glue layer. Trying to get my glue into all these small lines to give it a really good stick. And there's that one. Then next is this one. This one you could probably glue or foam. I'm going to glue it because I don't want my presents to get too far out from the rest of the Christmas tree. There. And then the gift on the right hand side, the spotty layer, this one will be glued too. It's tricky. There. Oops, just moved that. Wasn't quite dry. An easy fix. And then we've got the ribbon to go down that blue gift, which again is glued. There. For the final gift, I've got my gold rectangle. This one I'll pop out a little bit with some more foam. One last bit of dimension. The ribbon on top will be glued. And there we go, our beautiful traditional Christmas tree paper craft with all of those pretty glitzy layers is now all finished. There we are. Beautiful. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make this paper craft Christmas tree. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more Cricut crafts and Christmas fun. I hope to see you tomorrow for day 4 of the Christmas craft countdown. Don't forget, the link to get the SVG for this file is craftwithsarah.com/Christmas23, but they are only free to download for 24 hours after this video goes live. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!